Mario, once again, November 3rd, Monday, 2025. In my previous video regarding this particular helicopter, I talked about some of the nice features, but I also mentioned that the helicopter is a little too stable for my trained hands. I learned to fly the hard way, and perhaps that's one of the reasons why I'm not favoring the over stabilization that these have. These have 6 axis stabilizers plus an optical sensor that senses the height and is able to sort of maintain altitude hold, and not really precise, but it works to some degree. It's also a little quirky, and I think it's because of the mass that you have in this rotor here. And so those are my pros and my cons with these particular products right here. I bought it because I like I always liked this MD500 shape, and I did canopies back in the day for the sub-micro pound-sized helicopters that were coming out from other companies. I was making all these scale canopies. Many people that follow my channel will probably remember the scale canopies that I was making. I was making the 500s, the H300s, a lot of cool stuff that I did for palm-sized helicopters way before these companies were even on the market. So in comparison, I wanted to compare this with my Bumblebee. You can see that the size proportions are very similar. This one doesn't have the rotor just yet because I am working. This I converted one of these motors, to operate at a lower kV so that I can drive the motor direct drive. So this is a direct drive, but this is the original Bumblebee with the fiberglass frame. I did this in 3D print form, but I'm actually liking the fiberglass or the original fiberglass frame because it's a lot cleaner. It's a lot it's better in terms of materials. Fiberglass versus 3D printed plastic. You can't go wrong with 3D fiberglass or even carbon. I also did some of these in carbon, thin plate CNC machine. But just for comparison of size, you can tell that it's very close to this. This one uses a traditional or the more conventional gyro, just a rate gyro for the tail to stabilize the tail, and brushless speed control for the main, and also another brushless speed control for the rear, and your typical receiver, that is used, for flying radio control models. No six-axis stabilization. This has a very super smooth rotor, as I've shown in some other videos. But I'm also interested in maybe trying one of these controllers and popping it there. So I may get one of those controllers and test it on